Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60andMe. Well, for the last 8 days, I have been on a program with Road Scholar. It's part of their Winter in Southern Europe series, and it was held in Nice, in southern France, and we had the most amazing time. Now, I wanted to originally go on a Facebook Live show to show you a little bit around the gardens that we're in at the moment and tell you a bit about this experience. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough Wi-Fi to do this properly. So I'm just going to take a few minutes, 10 minutes, to tell you about the program, why I think it's just so unique and special, and then leave you with some images of this beautiful Frazy garden, which is the last event that we're doing on the tour. So what is it all about? Well, the Winter In series is all about visiting places in southern Europe that are not so populated as they are in the summer months. So they have Road Scholar has a program in Italy, Greece, Spain, Portugal, and then this one, of course, in France, in southern France. Now, Nice is an amazing little town. I would say it's a town, it's a city, but it's very, very busy in the summer months, starting about May. But we are now in the middle of March, and you can see behind me, the sun is shining. It's absolutely beautiful. We've had 60, 65 degree Fahrenheit weather almost the whole time, and it's been just so breathtakingly beautiful. And not only has the weather been kind and beautiful, but the whole atmosphere has been more relaxed, and it's just that kind of sense that you're part of you're local. You can blend in more easily. You're not fighting the tourists. And many times we have found on our trip that the transportation has been so much easier because there's just not that much traffic on the road. So we've been able to get to places quickly and then move around once we got there, with a bit more ease. It is a less expensive time of the year to be traveling in this part of the world, and I think a lot of people enjoy that sense of not feeling pressured as a tourist. You can just have fun and blend in. So off-season is definitely the way to travel in this part of the southern France. Now, also Road Scholar offers all kinds of back-to-back programs, so that if you want to do something in Portugal, for example, you can then just continue on in the south of France. And several of the women on our program now are coming from another Road Scholar program. So that's the kind of the background to this Winter In series that Road Scholar is doing. By the way, France is their destination country of the year this year. So France has got a big focus for Road Scholar, and they've got programs like all over the country. So I suggest you take a look and see what they've got. There might be something for you. It's everything from river cruising to this kind of insight program. So what do we do? Okay, so we started the program. This is 8 days ago. It feels like a decade ago. It was such a short time, but long time. And we started off with just spending time in Nice. We went all around Nice. We went to the old town. We discovered the flower market, which was just beautiful. And this is not just a little flower garden. This is a big flower garden that goes on every single day, and it's a way of just really, again, being a local. This is what they do. They have a beautiful flower garden every single day. The sea in Nice. Well, I just don't even know how you describe the color. It's turquoise, it's blue, it's azure, it's amazing. And so the Côte d'Azur, of course, is the name that people refer to this part of the world, and it lives up to that name for sure. So we spent some time, and I spent some time just sitting by the water, listening to the waves, picking up pebbles. And that's the beauty of this kind of program, is that you have structured activities around, with the group. There was 18 in our group, but you also have plenty of time to do things on your own. And that's what I love, being by the sea. It was wonderful. We then went on to start the heart of this program, which is all about culture and art. So we visited the Matisse Museum, and then we went to the Chagall Museum. Both of them totally unique and just stunning. And I've got video that we'll be sharing later on in an article on 60andMe, showing all these things in a lot more detail. But just trust me, it was spectacular. I actually really love Chagall. I love Marc Chagall. I have always admired his work, but to see it in the real setting, in a place that he exclusively did the art for, it was remarkable, just remarkable. So then we had a day off, and we went into, some people went into Cannes, some people stayed by the sea, others explored other museums, modern art, and other in Nice itself. And I actually stayed and looked at the sea. and just a little bit of wandering. We then went off to Antibes. Antibes is where the Picasso Museum is. And of course, this was an amazing museum. It was not exclusively Picasso, but a lot of his work. And it was seen through the eyes of in a very unique way. I really, really enjoyed that day. And we went into Antibes, the town as well, a beautiful old medieval town. And we had lunch and just, you know, sat in the sun. It was just one of those lovely days. We then, on the way back from that tour, we saw the Russian Cathedral. And the Russian Cathedral is right in Nice, and a really stunning building. We couldn't take any pictures inside, but I've got a couple of the outside that were amazing. What else we did? I've got my notes here. Just have a look here. Oh yes, the Meg Foundation. That was the next day. The Meg Foundation was in St. Paul de Vence, and it was, oh my goodness, it was a museum built in nature. It was just, the whole place was dominated by nature. And there was, as you walk the gardens, there were sculptures by Henry Moore and Miro. And the Mag family built this foundation, or started this foundation when their son died. And it was kind of a therapy for them to heal with art. And so it was really quite amazing to share their journey. And so many beautiful and very well-known artists contributed to the pieces in the foundation. And it's growing and evolving, as you know, all the time. New pieces of art, new contributions. And I think for me that was almost the highlight. I just loved it the most. It was such a beautiful museum. And then we went into St. Paul de Vence, which is an old medieval town. You know, winding streets, beautiful little boutique galleries, and just again, because we were off season and it was so quiet, we just sat and wandered the streets. I can imagine in the summer how busy it is, but it was really very peaceful. And we had lunch in an open air cafe. The sun was almost too warm. We were all getting a little bit sunburned, but again, this out of season travel in Europe is fantastic. Sorry for the wobbly phone here, but I haven't got a tripod. I'm just talking while I'm holding the phone. So as if I was doing this Facebook Live with you. I'm so sorry that we couldn't do it. I really was looking forward to doing it live, but anyway, here we are. So today we're in Monaco. We spent the morning in Monte Carlo and went into the casino. We looked around there, and then we just got on the bus and went into Monaco. Spent a couple of hours just in the town around. We saw the changing of the guard at the Houses of Parliament, and then we actually went in and just had a sandwich and could eat whatever we wanted. A free time, wandered down by the streets. I actually had a lot of time to take pictures of doors, which is my passion. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. And now we are at the Villa Euphrasie de Rothschild. It is a beautiful, I mean, I keep running out of adjectives, but it's one of these places that is stunning. It's a house that was decorated by a very wealthy family, and the gardens are magnificent. I'm actually standing right now, you can see a bit behind me, but I'm going to leave you with some images after this video is recorded, and then you can see what the interior of the house is like. Totally opulent and beautiful. And then the gardens are just exquisite. And I was fortunate enough to just pass by the fountains as they were doing this musical interlude that happens every hour, and the fountains are energized by sound and beautiful light, and it was quite a nice way to experience the fountains and pools here. So that's my experience of this Rhodes Scholar adventures winter in Southern Europe in Nice. And we, as I said, we went all around the coast, and it was more than I expected. I was so happy to meet wonderful people. I met some incredible women and men, and it was one of those trips where, you know, there were moments of magic and memory markers that I will remember all my life. Oh, I must remember to mention our guide, Julian Brown. Julian was amazing. I don't know how that man has so much information in his head, but he presented it in such a way that we learned so much. We were laughing, we were energized, we were intrigued, we were entertained. And of course, our beautiful driver, Marcel, we just enjoyed having their company. And Julian, really, I would say he's one of the best guides I've ever experienced in my life. And I know a lot of people who are tour guides, and he just had got his heart and soul into this, and was incredibly patient with everyone, and just gave us a great experience. So that's it. Pretend this is a Facebook Live. Pretend that I'm here. And if you've got any questions, just leave it in the section below. And I'll be looking at the questions and answer to the best of my ability. But again, thanks so much for being here. And I hope this has been a nice introduction to Rhodes Scholars Program in the south of France. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye for now.